I'm Ryan Green.
And I'm Zack Taylor.
And this is Commander Social. And this week, we're going to be telling you about our top 8 picks from the first week of previews for Throne of Eldraine, the newest Magic set that's coming out this fall.
Oh, yeah. I think it's going to be a spicy one.
Oh, man, this set looks so sweet.
It does.
But before we get into all that, we got to do what we got to do every episode, which is thank you out there in audience land. Thank you so much for listening. We really appreciate it. Thank you for watching, too.
Yep.
And if you are watching this video, please remember to like,
subscribe,
and hit that bell icon for the notification stuff. Yeah.
So when we post videos, you get like a little thing on your phone.
Absolutely. And, tell a friend.
For sure. Your friends need to get in on this.
Absolutely.
So another thing we want to do is that we do every episode is thank our patrons. Guys, gals, folks, we couldn't do it without you. The money that you donate to us every month goes to make the show better. I mean, it's definitely, something that we do. So
absolutely. I'm still floored that we have folks that are willing to help us grow and get stronger. So thank you so much.
Yeah. So that brings us, we want to thank our super patron, Andy Bentley.
Yeah. So Andy is at a tier where he gets kind of a credit in our episodes on YouTube. And we've had some difficulties as we haven't had some videos.
Right.
So this is going to be the first one. So we just wanted to say thank you for sticking with us, Andy, waiting for the video stuff to get there. And it's here now. And I think it looks great. So, thank you.
Yeah, thanks, man.
And also we want to thank our patron of the week, separate from Mr. Bentley, which is Aaron Vera. So thanks, you Aaron. So much. Yep. We really appreciate your support. It means a lot to us.
It does.
And because your support means the world to us, we have a Patreon contest going for the month of September. And this month, you can win this here deck box.
Like literally this one.
It is a 100+ Sidewinder with the awesome strong magnets. And this box was donated to us by our local game store, the Mothership. Love the store. Yep. And, they're donating to us so that you guys can get prizes. And that just means the world to us.
Great.
So thank you so much, Mothership. And thank you, everyone, for being a patron. And we love being able to give you contests for stuff like this. Yep. So,
and I double checked it. It is a 100+ one. It's not an 80+ one. I made that mistake the other day and bought an 80+ one.
Oh, sad.
I got a new token box.
Yeah, that'll fit a lot of tokens.
It does.
But yeah, so actually, I love these boxes. I use them myself.
I do too.
I'm super stoked to give this away to one of our patrons, and any tier patron can get this. Mm-hmm. And by the time you're watching this video or hearing it, you'll have a little bit less than a week to get in and become a patron to win this. So
yeah, and we'll check it to see who's a patron at midnight on September. Is it 30th? Is the last day of the month?
The last day of September, whichever day that is.
Whatever day that falls on. So that brings us to Twitter. If you want to get us on Twitter, I'm at Z4CK38. Got there.
Yeah. Woo, remembered the 38.
Yep.
And I'm at Green Geek.
And together we're at Commander Social. So, we definitely interact with our Twitter peeps a lot. So, we want to do a contest for you guys too. We are going to give away this deck box. Very pretty. Very pretty. We got it at Mothership also. It's where we get all of our gaming stuff that we get there. And so this is for the Jeskai deck, correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
So this is the one we'll be giving away. So there's a tweet on our page. All you got to do is follow us, like the tweet, and retweet the original tweet, not the retweet of the tweet.
Yeah, you gotta make sure it's the original one.
The OG.
This is like school. You have to follow the rules, and we are checking.
Yep.
Mostly because that's really the easiest way to do it.
Yeah, for real. The computer tells us. So if you want to win that, you know how. And did I say together we're at Commander Social? I think I did, but
yeah, I think you did.
Let's say it again. We're at Commander Social.
Yeah, just in case you didn't hear it the first time, or if we forgot to say it.
Yeah,
who knows?
Whatever.
But all right, so Zach, what's been going on in your personal life, man?
Man, so last weekend we went on our yearly Boys in the Woods cabin trip, where it's like a bunch of dudes that get together and we like hang out, eat way too much food, play a bunch of games, and just it's really kind of like it's where I get to unwind, basically, right? Like I just don't have anything I'm worried about. I'm just like hanging out, doing some stuff, and we started doing something in the past. I think last year was the first year we did the meal plan, right?
Yeah, that's right. This is the second year.
Yeah. So, we all just kind of painted that, and there's definitely some awesome dudes. Ogilvy.
Actually, huge shout out to Brian and to Dave. Yep, for putting that all together.
For sure.
Excellent food all weekend long. So good.
Yeah, Big John helped. When he wasn't getting me with Xenagos, he actually, real quick, Big John played the Tatiova Proliferate deck.
Oh, okay.
And he won. He really liked it. But what he didn't know is that you could proliferate Infect tokens.
Ooh.
And then when I told him that when they were playing, he was like, oh.
Mind blown.
Yeah, his eyes just lit up. But the thing I want to shout out about that weekend that I thought was the coolest was our friend Adam made some turkeys, and he didn't deep fry them. He did this interesting smoking method that I'm not going to go into because maybe it's proprietary. I don't know. But
secrets.
Generally speaking, I don't like turkey. But every year, Adam's like, I'm going to make a turkey. And Adam makes these turkeys, and
He made 2 this year. Yeah.
Delicious.
Because last year, the turkey went in like less than 5 minutes.
Oh, I know. Dude, while y'all were playing that game, I remember I took a nap, and then I woke up, and y'all were all playing that game.
Yep.
There was still some left, and like Gary and I were just kind of like picking at it. And just like, and it was the dark meat too, and I was like, yes.
Oh, this turkey has like the Creole seasoning on it, so it's like super like savory. Man, it's so good. Huge shout out to Adam,
sure.
Right?
I definitely like just ate a big piece of skin when he was like I was like, hey man, can you get a piece of skin? He's like, absolutely. And I was just like, it's all crunchy and salty.
You'd be like, hey Adam, give me some skin.
Yeah, I should have, man. What about you? What's been going on there?
All right. Okay. So as you mentioned, the cabin retreat was this weekend, weekends ago as you're hearing this now, but I was gone for 4 days from my family, and when I got back on that Monday, I actually got back in time to pick up my daughter from school, and it was so cool because she didn't know that I was going to be there, and so I showed up at school at the bell. When I walked into the classroom, they were all lined up against the side of the wall, orderly and learning, to do that thing. And she just jumped out of line. Daddy, oh my gosh, I miss you so much. And she came over and gave me the biggest hug, and she told me she loved me. And it was one of those moments that's going to be forever etched in my brain. Like, I missed her too. I missed my whole family while I was gone. But just having her like just so jubilant and just so like pure and I don't know, so like overflowing with love. There's nothing like it in the world. And, the hug that I gave her was just so deep. And it was, I don't know. I really don't know how to explain it, but it was
I can like picture that. Like, that's
an amazing
awesome.
moment.
I do have one small like procedural question about that story.
Yeah, sure.
So since she jumped out of line, you had to put her in timeout after.
No, I didn't. But
I'm just kidding.
I think she had to wait to eat her Skittle because they get one Skittle when they're in line. So
one Skittle?
Yeah. No, I mean, it doesn't take a lot with kids, man. And also you probably shouldn't give them a ton of sugar. But yeah, so
okay.
that's your hashtag MTG dad moment. So let's go and do the thing that we do every episode, and that's thank our silent partner, Mr. Mike Condon. Thank you, Mike. We couldn't do it without you. Week in and week out, you work so hard to bring the show to everybody that watches, and I know that they appreciate it, and we appreciate you.
And like the other thing that we want to thank Mike for, we've talked about sometimes Mike gets on these research projects for us, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we were like, Mike, we need some cheese log. And so Mike did the research, and he found like literally the best cheese log you can get is like all this aged cheddar, and there's all this like marbling and like all this other crazy
like
business.
very savory nuts like on the outside of the log. Yeah,
like not just any nuts, like nuts grown in like a special wherever you grow nuts. And it was amazing. So, I definitely want to thank Mike for that cheese log. It was very satisfying.
All right. Okay, so that's going to move us right on into a topic we like to call
Commander Rules.
All right, so on Commander Rules, we like to take a deep dive into the comprehensive rules of Magic the Gathering, and I'm going to read one off here, and Zach, you're going to tell me how to hit you. All right? Okay, so this week's rule is 607.3, but in order for that to make sense, I'm going to read 607.1 first.
Are you going to read 607.2?
No.
We're
skipping one.
Is it pertinent?
No.
Okay.
I
believe you.
So 607.1 is An object may have two abilities printed on it such that one of them causes actions to be taken or objects or players to be affected, and the other one directly refers to those action objects or players. If so, these two abilities are linked. The second refers only to the actions that were taken or the objects or players that were affected by the first, and not by any other ability. So this is called linked abilities.
Okay.
All right. 607.3 says, if within a pair of linked abilities, one ability refers to a single object as the exiled card, a card exiled with this card, or similar phrase, and the other ability has exiled multiple cards, usually because it was copied, the ability refers to each of the exiled cards. If that ability asks for any information about the exiled card, such as a characteristic or converted mana cost, it gets multiple answers. If these answers are used to determine the value of a variable, the sum of the answers is used. If that ability performs any actions on the exiled card, it performs that action on each exiled card. What do you think about that?
What did you just say to me, son? What did you just say? No, so I think I get it. So, I mean, I would definitely have to see a card that this rule applies to. But like, so here's my thinking, and you can tell me if I'm wrong or not. I probably am. So Gonti, right, comes into play. You look at some cards and you exile a card.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You can always play that card.
Yep.
It's there. But like somehow, what if that like ability, like Yarok, doubles it?
Right.
So you you have two exiled cards now. So if something was like, well, like if there's another line on Gonti that's like, I don't know, pay X life, gain X mana, where X is the CMC of the card exiled. It would look at both and like sum the CMC. And you'd like lose that much life and gain that much mana, if that was the ability.
Yeah, I mean, I think you got there. I'm not sure if Gonti is one of these or not. Honestly, this rule like was really hard to even just read. There was a lot there. Probably, hopefully, the people at home audience are rewinding the tape to listen to it again.
I mean, yeah, I definitely I'm gonna have to read this because you were like reading it and like I was like, I must pay attention to this. This is important because we're recording the podcast. But my brain was like, also like,
words.
What is this? These words don't necessarily compute together. And like, is this something I should just ignore as tomfoolery?
So anyway, linked abilities, they're crazy and there's a lot. This one is really deep. Like we could probably even do like a whole episode on this sometime.
Oh, I mean, let's just do this episode on this.
Yeah, total right turn. We're out of here. No.
Does it give an example of a card or something?
Well, okay, so here's one. This is not from 607.3, but we'll say, example, Paradise Plume has the following three abilities. As Paradise Plume enters the battlefield, choose a color. Whenever a player casts a spell of the chosen color, you may gain 1 life. And tap, add 1 mana of the chosen color. The first and second abilities are linked. The first and third abilities are linked.
Give me this.
Let's go to the map here. So linked abilities are kind of crazy, and it's because you have this one that needs to keep track of another one over time, and it just becomes very complex.
I think a better example than Gonti would be like Cage Sun. Pick a color, land that produces that color or whatever you get 2 of. I mean, I think I get this. I mean, I'm pretty sure I do, but yeah, this is complicated.
Yeah, so the whole point here is that the Magic rules are deep. They are so deep, and they can be as deep as
they're wide
as you want them to be. So if you're interested in linked abilities, go check out Rule 607.1, I think is how we end that segment.
Yeah, or just don't.
Hopefully, folks out there in audience land enjoyed it. And if you have any questions about linked abilities, feel free to tweet at us, and we'll try to answer them.
Or if you want a more expedient answer, get on our Discord.
Word. Okay, so that's going to do it for Commander Rules, which is going to move us right on into the main topic for this week, which is our top 8 previews from week 1 of Throne of Eldraine. All right. So, couple disclaimers that need to happen here. These are only after cards that have been previewed up until September 14th. This video will come out much later than that.
Yep.
And also, this does not include the Brawl deck specific cards that are only in the Brawl decks that you cannot open in packs of Throne of Eldraine.
Yep.
So like Arcane Signet would definitely be on this list.
It would just be number 1.
But it is not. So yeah, that's about it. So kind of before we like go into our actual list themselves, I just wanted to like give a huge shout out to Wizards here. This set has like some of the best flavor I've ever seen.
It does. It has a lot of flavor.
I am like
it's as flavorful as Adam's turkey.
Oh, nice reference.
Yeah.
Well, got there. Bringing it back around. Circular. Yep. I like it.
Yeah.
No, seriously though, like this set looks crazy. It's like Grim Fairy Tales meets, Arthurian Legend. And also that preview trailer was awesome.
It was
so good.
I know. Like
I've watched it multiple times.
I have too. And every time I think of it, like I watch the gingerbread people and I'm like, Garuk, no, why did you eat Ryan? I'm just like coming at Garuk with some sort of like knife type thing.
Flying through the air with like that fork.
Yeah. Did you see on Twitter? I don't think this is real, but you know how they have those dual decks or whatever? There was a picture of a dual deck going around of the female gingerbread cookie and Garuk on facing off each other.
Garuk versus gingerbread.
Right?
That would be sweet, actually.
Yeah, I think it would be. I would buy it like that. Just for the
actually,
walls.
I think on Arena there's the gingerbread sleeves are available.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
So I don't know. Honestly, that video was amazing, and the set has like tremendous flavor. Like specifically that card Ginger Brute, which is like a 1 mana artifact creature that has haste and can only be blocked by creatures with haste. Like they're using mechanics to make flavor, right? Like it's a haste creature. It's fast as fast can be. You'll never catch me, right? I'm the gingerbread man, and it can only be blocked by creatures with haste, which is like not anything we've seen before.
Yeah,
I don't know. I just think it's really cool.
I do too.
And also, I just love the fairy tale aspect of it. You know, there's like mermaids and like Rapunzel, like trapped in the tower, and like I don't like the Lady of the Lake and the Loch Ness Monster, and like you could just go on the Seven Dwarves. Like there's so many.
That card's nuts.
There's so many flavor wins in the set that it's insane. Yeah, and the cards actually look like they're going to be fun to play in Commander 2. Yep. So I'm super hyped about this set. I've already pre-ordered a box at our local game store, the Mothership. Cannot wait for the pre-release weekend. Definitely going to be doing some of that. So. If you guys are as hyped for Eldraine as we are, hit us up on Twitter. Let us know. Like, I honestly, I am like this set. I think I'm like as hyped as I've been since like Dominaria.
Well, War of the Spark.
I mean, War of the Spark. Man, Wizards is batting 1,000 recently. Like every set's been like super good.
Is 1,000 good?
Yeah, it's perfect.
Okay, I didn't know.
Sports ball.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. So again, this is going to be the Commander Social secret list style.
Yep.
So we're going to bring it to you. I don't know what's on Zach's list. He doesn't know what's on mine. There's probably going to be some overlap. What's the over under on the overlap?
I would say it's 4, and I'll let you choose which one you want. Since I chose last time, I think we did secret lists.
Ooh, 4. All right. I'm going to pick the under.
Think it's gonna be less than 4?
I think it's going to be 3.
It's going to be 3?
But I mean, I get 3, 2, or 1 because that's how under works.
Yeah.
All of those numbers are under 4.
I mean, I'm going to get 4 to 100.
Well, yeah, or 8, which is the maximum.
Sure. Is 8 the maximum though, Ryan? Is it?
Well, you know, when I'm at the helm making a list, you never know.
It's true. So, we need to figure out who goes first.
Okay.
I say we do best 2 out of 3 rock, paper, scissors.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yep. So, audio listeners, sorry. So I'm gonna do it. 1, 2, 3, throw.
Okay, sounds good.
Is that how you do it?
Okay.
Right. 1, 2, 3. Okay, dang. 1, 2, 3. Yes. 1, 2, 3. Dang. Okay.
All right. So I got the best 2 out of 3, which means I get to go first or I have to go first. Which one is it?
Have to.
Okay.
Well, no. It's like in Magic. You get to choose. Do you want to go first? Do you want me to go first?
I would like you to go first.
Okay. That feels like a trap, but we'll see. So I'm going to start this here top 8 list off with my honorable mention.
Hey, more than 8.
Yeah, got there. So my honorable mention is, whoa, what's happening thing? Don't look, Ryan.
I am not looking currently.
Can you see?
No, for the audio listeners at home, I am glued to the camera here, making sure not to peek at Zach's viewing device, which he is going to use to display the cards and tell me what his honorable mentions are.
Gilded Goose.
Okay, Gilded Goose. That's the green one that lays the eggs, right?
Yep. For 1 green, you get a 0/2 creature bird.
Ah, I see. Honorable bird mention.
Right. It has flying. When Gilded Goose chooses the battlefield, create a food token.
When it chooses the battlefield?
Enters. Yeah.
When I choose you, battlefield.
Yeah. When Gilded Goose enters the battlefield, create a food token. 1 green, tap. Create a food token. 1, sacrifice a food token. Add 1 mana of any color. I actually think this card's kind of decent.
Yeah, I mean, if you really want some mana dorks and you need some like artifacts to sacrifice, it's playable. It's good.
Yep. So do I do my actual 8th card now? Or?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, my 8th card is Merchant of the Veil, VALE.
Okay, is there a way I can like look at your pad without seeing what's coming up next?
Yeah.
Okay.
So can you see it?
Yep.
Oh, wait, hold on. You can just see Merchant of the Veil.
Oh, okay, there we go.
There we go. Okay.
So read it out for the folks at home.
So it's a creature, human peasant. It's 2 and a red for a 2/3 that says 2 red, discard a card, draw a card, so you loot. But it also...
Well, actually, that's rummage. Right,
that's right. Oh, first. Yeah, you're right. It also has an adventure thing, so it's called Haggle.
Let's go on an adventure.
Right? It's a 1 red instant. You may discard a card. If you do, draw a card. So
it's pretty cool seeing that at instant speed, actually.
Yeah, I think so. I definitely saw this referred to as the replacement for Faithless Looting in Modern. But I think it's a good card for draw in red in Commander. So for those of you who don't know the adventures, and I just found this out, you cast the adventure bit, the instant bit, and then it exiles the card, right?
That's right. I believe that's right.
And then if I want to cast the creature from exile, I can.
Yeah, and basically like if you cast it as a creature, like the instant part's pretty much gone.
Yeah, exactly.
So you have to do the adventure spell first, I guess, if you want to, and then I don't know. I think these cards are really cool. The frames look amazing on these. The flavor is totally there.
Yep. So that is my number 8.
So that is your number 8. Okay. So my number 8 is Clackbridge Troll. Do we have any crossover yet?
Nope.
Yes?
I said nope.
Oh, no. Okay. So Clackbridge Troll is 3 black for an 8/8 creature troll with trample and haste. When Clackbridge Troll enters the battlefield, target opponent creates 3/0/1 white goat creature tokens.
Goats.
Greatest of all time.
Yeah, that's right.
At the beginning of combat on your turn, any opponent may sacrifice a creature. If a player does, tap Clackbridge Troll, you gain 3 life, and you draw a card. So, number 1, flavor-wise, like 3 Billy Goats Gruff here is what's happening, right?
Okay.
Totally awesome. 5 mana for a 8/8 trample haste is huge. And in Commander, the player, you get to give the goats to whoever you want, and then any opponent can sacrifice. So they can sacrifice the goats, but maybe there's a player that's open for business that we just had a wrath or something, and you give the goats to some player who doesn't want to sacrifice them. So this card is potentially pretty good in Commander because you can give the goats to a player that maybe doesn't necessarily want to sacrifice them, because you can make a deal and say, hey, I want to attack this other player that doesn't have any creatures. Right. And you can get a 5 mana 8/8 trample haste. The other bit here is, even if somebody does sacrifice a creature, you're drawing a card and you're gaining a life.
It's pretty good.
Like, I'd be happy with that every turn. Like, if the Clackbridge Troll never got to attack, I'd be pretty happy.
Yeah. I've heard this described as the new, like, not Desecration Demon. Yeah, it was Desecration Demon from Zendikar.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think the flavor on this card is on point. I think a 5 mana 8/8 trample haste is huge. And I really want people to sacrifice their creatures to give me a card and life. Like, that sounds great, right?
Yeah.
Because they're losing resources and I'm gaining resources. Like, that's perfect.
Yeah, that card has a lot of upsides. I think it's pretty good. For those of at home, Desecration Demons, 2 black for 6/6 flying creature demon. At the beginning of each combat, any opponent may sacrifice a creature. If that player does, Desecration Demon, tap Desecration Demon and put a +1/+1 counter on it. So you kind of see the...
Yeah, the parallels are there, although this one like gives them the things to sacrifice.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, that card seems pretty legit.
So what's number 7 on your list?
It's Gilded Goose. Oh, wait, did I already do that one?
Yeah, that was your honorable mention.
Oh, my bad.
Bird Tribal.
So this one is Witch's Cottage. I just think this card, like, maybe it's not good. I think it is. It's just real interesting to me. It's a land swamp, so it can be fetched.
Okay, right.
You can tap to add black, as you can with most swamps. It says Witch's Cottage enters the battlefield tapped unless you control 3 or more swamps. Okay.
So really heavily incentivized to be in a mono black deck.
Yeah,
there.
for sure. I agree.
Yeah, which is pretty good in Commander.
Yep, that's what I've been playing lately. And then when Witcher's Courage enters the battlefield untapped, you may put target creature card from your graveyard on top of your library. Like, if you're playing a mono black deck, like the price of inclusion here is pretty low. And it's recursion. Like, it's just good, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it takes your draw step, but sometimes it's totally worth it. Like, sometimes the next card you want to draw is the best creature in your graveyard, and this lets you do it.
Yeah.
And, it can come into play untapped. So if you're running a lot of basics, I think this is potentially pretty good. So far, no overlap.
No, I'm surprised.
All right.
All right, so what's your next one?
My number 7 is Kenrith, the Returned King. So this is 4 and a white for
So you know what that is, right?
our first overlap.
It's our first overlap.
There it is. So Kenrith the Returned King is 4 and a white for a 5/5 legendary creature human noble. Red : all creatures gain trample and haste until end of turn. 1 and a green : put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. 2 and a white : target player gains 5 life. 3 and a blue : target player draws a card. 4 and a black : put target creature card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under its owner's control. I think this card is super sweet. It's the buy a box promo, so you can't find it in booster packs, but it's a 5-color identity legendary commander for group hug, right? Like that's what this is, because all the targets can be anybody. Like you can spend the red mana to give all creatures trample and haste on somebody else's turn.
Yep.
Right. And so I love the idea of being able to like make deals with this commander.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And you can use the abilities on yourself too.
Yeah.
Right. Which is really cool. I just think the flavor is super there. The stats are good. I love being able to like reanimate stuff at instant speed with that black ability. I don't know. Like I could see myself making like a 5-color group hug deck around this. And I don't have a group hug deck in my arsenal. I think I kind of need one.
Yeah, that's literally the same thing I was thinking. Because I've been talking about building a group hug deck for a while, and I'm just like, I've always kind of wanted to build a 5-color deck too, and I think this is going to scratch all those itches if I end up building that out. I just got to buy a box now,
or just buy a single.
Yeah, exactly.
But I will say, I'm pretty sure this is lore wise. I think this is Rowan and Will's father.
I believe so. I believe that's correct.
I am actually reading the novel, the ebook. So
I will too at some point.
But yeah, so out there in audience land, if you're reading the book and you like it, let us know. But that was my number 7. Where was it on your list?
It was actually number 7 on mine too.
Oh, sweet. Okay, so it's definitely the 7th best card for Commander from Throne of Eldraine from week 1
from week 1 previous.
So all right, so we're at 1 on the overlap.
Yep.
So still good for me.
Yep. So I think that puts you at going again.
Sure, let's do it.
All right.
Number 6 on my list is Serkera the Bold. This is 3 red for a 3/3 legendary creature human knight. When Serkera the Bold or an instant or sorcery spell you control deals damage to a player, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. And she has tap. Serkera deals 1 damage to any target.
That card is good.
So this card seems really cool. It's an uncommon, but I really love the flavor of it here. And here's the deal. I love building mono red decks, and a lot of cards that you would want to put in a commander deck that are red aren't so great in commander, right? Like your lightning bolts, your shocks, all that kind of stuff. And being able to like turn each of those burn spells into an impulsive draw actually makes, I believe, a burn commander possible. And I'm excited to try that out.
Yeah,
right?
I think that would be interesting to have like a burn commander.
And I just love playing like, all right, let's do this and see what the top card of my library is. Oh, I'll cast that too. Let's see what the next top card of my library is. And if you can like combine ways to untap her, like there's a couple of old school artifacts that do it.
You know what else does it?
What's that?
Paradox Engine.
Well, yes, indeed. Rest in peace, Paradox Engine. But yeah, there's all kinds of stuff. Like I think Jandor's saddlebags, and I could be getting that one wrong. But definitely like puppet strings. I'm making so much work for you right now. I should really just stop.
It's fine.
But yeah, I don't know. What do you think about this card?
I think it's pretty good. Like I definitely think the SYR instead of SIR, like to show knighthood, I guess, kind of. I think that's kind of interesting. I like how they did that. I think the art's great. I just think this card's cool. Like, I don't know if it necessarily would be my commander, but I could definitely see playing it in a mono red deck.
I actually kind of want to build a commander deck around this, like, because having access to this in your command zone, making all those burn spells, like
that's true.
Draw spells is pretty good. You just need a way to get rid of extra lands, but we've had a couple of red cards that do that recently. So I don't know. I think it's pretty good. So that was my number 6.
There was a card that I want to double check that I think may go good with this. Can't remember. No, I thought Tectonic Reformation may be good for that, but I don't think it is. Tectonic Reformation, for those of you who don't know, is 1 in a red enchantment. Each land card in your deck has cycling red, and then the card itself has cycling 2.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, that would be good. Like, here's the thing. When you're playing a mono red deck, you end up building a lot of lands in hand. It just happens, right? Because even with impulsive card draw like this that doesn't put it in your hand, you're drawing lands on your turn, and you can't play them as fast as you're drawing them.
Right, and honestly, it's been my experience in mono red, and especially if you're going to do, like, instant sorceries burn type stuff, you don't need, like, a lot of land. I mean, it helps.
I mean, I like a lot of land.
I mean, that's a play style, I think, more than anything else. But my next card actually happens to also be red.
Ooh, all right.
It is Embercleave.
Ooh, this card's sweet.
Is it on your list?
It is not.
Embercleave is legendary artifact equipment for 4 red. It has flash.
I do like that.
Yeah. This spell costs 1 less for each attacking creature you control. Sweet. When Embercleave enters the battlefield, attach a target creature you control. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 and has double strike and trample. Equip 3.
Oh man, that's good.
Yeah, like you have some big like red-green beater and it doesn't have trample or whatever, and someone's like, "Oh, I'm gonna chump block that," and you're like, "Cool story, Embercleave, right?" You get your double strike and your trample, and just
double strike and trample together is vicious.
So good. I mean, this card, I
think cost as little as red.
Yeah.
Like if you're attacking with 4 creatures, this can just come out of nowhere for red, and it can make a huge impact on the game, right? I think your Xenagos decks are going to love something like this. Yeah,
I'll say this is definitely a hashtag Get Big John card, but like...
Or any sort of like goblin thing.
It's just good, yeah.
I don't know. I really like it. I think the flavor is on point. I think the art is amazing.
Yeah, the art's sweet.
And I love the way that, it's like this surprise, like, guess what? Boom. Crazy sword. Like, I don't know. I like it.
I definitely like it too. Like, and I definitely like the more cheeky like combat tricks like that. It's like, oh, someone thinks I'm safe. Oh, surprise, you're not. So,
all right.
What's your next card?
So up next is Wishclaw Talisman. This is one that Von Doom would really enjoy, I know, from our patron.
Yep. We had some overlap.
We got another overlap?
Yep.
Oh, no.
And it actually was my next one, too.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, drawing ever closer to the poison apple.
Right?
Are we going to get that much overlap? All right. So for the folks listening at home, Wishclaw Talisman is 1 in a black for an artifact. Wishclaw Talisman enters the battlefield with 3 wish counters on it. 1 in tap, remove a wish counter from Wishclaw Talisman, search your library for a card, put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. An opponent gains control of Wishclaw Talisman. Activate this ability only during your turn. Okay, this is like the monkey paw, right? Like this is like a fable. This is super cool.
Is that why you keep saying monkey paw? Like I don't understand that.
Oh yeah, no, it's a classic fable, and there's a Simpsons episode on it.
Oh okay, well that explains a lot.
Yeah, and basically it's like this like severed hand that like grants wishes and like counts down on the fingers,
Oh, I have her. I know. Okay.
And so I number one, I think like, okay, it's a tutor, but it's a tutor that has political implications.
Yeah. I mean, it's scheming symmetry on an artifact.
Yeah. Well, but like it won't necessarily come back to you ever. Right. And it's only got 3 counters. So that's kind of cool. You get it right away. And if for some reason you really needed like all of your mana, you could wait to use this until your next turn and only spend 1 mana, or you could get like a 3 mana demonic tutor, which is pretty good. And there's going to be a lot of board states where you can be like, I'm going to go ahead and tutor for this, and I'm going to pass it over to you because we've got a problem at the table.
Yeah.
And maybe you can go find something to also help with this problem.
Right.
So I really like it from that perspective.
Agreed.
Like, it does seem like a more of an answer finding thing instead of a combo thing. Although, if you're going to use it to combo out, you don't really care if anybody else gets control of it because
you're going to
tap when
on
they
that
get control of it.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I don't know. Like, yeah, there's a lot of promise here, and I don't know. I just think it's really cool flavor wise, and I think it's a decent commander card.
I think so too.
So we're at 2 overlap now.
Yeah, I think so.
And that was number 5.
Sure.
Yep. Okay. So it's now your turn to read one, I think.
Okay. Mine is the Royal Scions.
Oh man, that art is sweet.
I know. Any overlap?
Nope.
Okay. So the Royal Scions is a planeswalker. It's a legendary planeswalker, Will Rowan,
Which is super cool, right? It's.
Yep.
I think I saw that this is the first time that we're having 2 characters on a single planeswalker card,
Right.
which I think is awesome because I think story wise they share a spark.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
I haven't gotten to that part in the ebook yet.
Okay.
But that's what I've heard.
Well, and I'm interested to see if there's a Will card, because I think if there is, it's going to be totally broken, because there's a Rowan card, a separate Rowan planeswalker already.
Oh, I think that's a dual deck.
Is that in the dual deck? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is 1 blue-red, so it's pretty good priced. For a 5 loyalty legendary planeswalker, Will Rowan.
It starts with 5?
Yeah, it starts with 5.
That is crazy for 3 mana.
Yeah, for 3 mana, like, it's just good. Like, it's not written 6 at 2 good, but for 3 at 5, I don't know. I just think it's good. So the +1 is draw a card and then discard a card. Dope.
Loot.
Dope.
Yep. Loot.
Plus, it's not scrape.
Rummage.
Yeah, sure, whatever. The next one is +1. Target creature gets +2/+0 and gains first strike and trample until end of turn. I like that. I think that can be cool. -8. Draw 4 cards. When you do, the Royal Scions deals damage to any target equal to the number of cards in your hand. For me, I think this, like, people have said this is great for Locust God, and I think it is.
Yeah.
Like,
for sure.
I think it could be. I personally want to play it with Niv-Mizzet Perun because, well, I have that deck built already.
Nice. Okay.
You know, the drawing card, discarding card's pretty good. I think the business with the creature's pretty good because, well, Niv-Mizzet needs that +2/+0 to attack with first strike and trample because he's already got flying.
Yeah. All right. Just pile them on.
And
Get
then
those keywords going.
Right. And the -8, like, I definitely keep a lot of cards in my hand in that deck. So I don't know. I think it's a cool card. What do you think about the Royal Scions?
I mean, I feel like this card is pushed.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it's probably going to be pretty good in Standard, although we're not a Standard podcast and I don't know a whole lot about Standard. But I will say
this card will be legal in Standard.
Yeah, indeed it will. But I think it's good in Commander. I think that a 3 mana thing that's not super like scary, right? Like the ultimate going off is not that big of a deal.
It's not.
Unless you have a crazy amount of cards in your hand, in which case you were already the threat anyway.
Right.
So
get out, Dan, with your what was that called?
Villas.
No, the card that I destroyed.
Oh, Vincer's Journal.
Yeah, get out, Dan, with your Vincer's Journal.
But
crazy kids.
But I will say, let's just say that you got to like loot like 3 times with it and it soaked up like 8 damage. Like that's really good for a 3 mana investment.
I think so.
Right? That's going to amount to kind of drawing a card or 2 and gaining some life. And if you have some way to protect it, the ultimate's really good. You're going to draw some cards and hit something. I mean, I can see myself playing this card. I like it, but it didn't make my list, I guess.
Okay.
All right. So are we ready to move into the top half?
Top half. I only have 2 more cards left. How many do you have?
1, 2, 3, 4.
What? Did I even do 8 cards? Hold on.
Okay, I'm not looking.
Don't look.
So, for the folks at home right now, we are reviewing our devices to make sure that we have the appropriate information to deliver to you. So I will ask of you, what are your favorite cards from Throne of Eldraine so far? By the time this episode airs, you will have seen the entire set. What's good? Like, what do you like?
I mean, I have 9 cards.
So, okay.
How many do you have total?
I have 4 more to do. All right, so we're going to move on to my number 4 pick. We've had a couple of crossovers with Zack, so we'll see if I can maybe get them all. Here we go. Okay, so My number 4 is the Magic Mirror.
Oh, snap.
All right. Is that number 1 or 2 on your list?
2.
Okay. So number 1 is left for Zach. All right. The Magic Mirror is a sweet card. It's this awesome flavor. It's like the mirror that reflects things on the wall. Mirror on the wall. Who is the coolest of them all?
Yep. Me.
All right. So the Magic Mirror is 6 blue for a legendary artifact. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each instant and sorcery card in your graveyard. You have no maximum hand size. Love that.
Yep.
At the beginning of your upkeep, put a knowledge counter on the Magic Mirror. Then draw a card for each knowledge counter on the Magic Mirror.
Dope.
So since I've talked a whole bunch, why don't you tell us why this card's great? Surprise!
I think this card's great because, first off, and like you're gonna play it in some sort of like
spell slinger,
spell slinging deck, right? So you're gonna, by the time you get here, you're gonna have a bunch of those in your graveyard, right? So even if you cast it for like maybe 4, 1 and 1 blue, that's pretty good, right? No maximum hand size. Never gonna complain about that. This card basically draws you. Like it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. The next turn you draw 2, you draw your card, and then it's 3, and then it's 4, and it just keeps snowballing. Like I think that's massive. Like I think people are gonna play this card and it's gonna be like, get them, because it's insane. And plus, what if you're like playing some sort of dumb proliferation business in here, right? And you start pumping up those counters on.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Like Flux Channeler or something with this, like. I could see this getting out of hand real quick.
Probably goes really spicy in a Talrand Sky Summoner deck with just like a ton of counterspells in it.
Yeah. Was it? No, that was in the deck you were playing. It wasn't the deck you were playing the other day. Okay. Yeah, I just think this card's legit. Like, I think the art's tight. I
mean,
like
the flavor's amazing.
Yeah,
I said about like nearly every card in this set, it's so cool.
It is.
And yeah, this is the kind of card that makes me go, I want to play that.
Yeah.
I want to put it into play and draw all of the cards and cast all the instants and sorceries. Like, this is what I want to do in Magic.
Yep.
So, all right. So we're now at 3 overlaps.
Yep.
So if I hit any more, I missed the over-under.
I mean, well, I only have 1 more card, so we'll see.
And I've got 3 more.
Let's see what you got.
All right. So my number 3 is Mirror Maid. This is 1 blue for an enchantment. You may have Mirror Maid enter the battlefield as a copy of any artifact or enchantment on the battlefield.
I don't know how I didn't see that. First off, that art is dope. And, I like making copies of things.
And I mean, here's the deal. Like, copy artifact is like 1 in a blue.
Yeah.
And, or maybe I'm thinking of copy enchantment. Maybe they both exist. I'm not sure. I think it's copy enchantment that I'm thinking of. But anyway, the point is, for 1 extra mana, getting the choice is amazing.
Yeah.
And we all know that artifacts and enchantments are the dangerous things at the table, right? And so getting to copy any of those, including your own, I just really love this.
Yeah, I didn't see that card. That card is powerful.
Yeah, I think this card's great, and I'm glad that you didn't know about it.
Yeah, well, now I do. Thanks. Copy artifact is.
Oh, it was artifact. Okay.
Yeah, it is 1 in a blue enchantment. Select an artifact and play. This enchantment acts as a duplicate of that artifact. It's affected by cards that affect other enchantments or artifacts. The copy remains even if the original is destroyed. Enchantments on the original artifacts are not copied.
There's some excellent text. I'm sure the Oracle text is a lot smaller.
It actually is. Like, that's like 8 lines of text. The Oracle text is like 2.
All right. Okay, so that was my number 3. I've got 2 left.
All right.
So number 2 on my list is something that I could see becoming a staple in Commander. It is True Love's Kiss.
Did not overlap.
This card is awesome. It's 2 white for an instant, and it says exile target artifact or enchantment. Draw a card, right? So pretty simple, bare bones. It's a common. I just think this card's great. You want to be able to kill things, especially artifacts and enchantments like we talked about, and it replaces itself and its instant speed and its exile, right? This gets rid of, a god that hasn't, it doesn't matter. It's still an enchantment like one of the Theros gods.
Yep.
So I don't know. And I think the flavor is amazing. Right.
I love that this girl's kissing Swamp Thing. It's great.
that is happening.
Yeah. That flavor's amazing. I mean, this is the legend of Swamp Thing, right?
Tastes like moss. But I don't know. I mean, it's like 4 mana instant. Like, I can see myself casting this all the time.
Yeah, I think it's good. Like, I mean, I think the card that you compare it to here is
like Crush Contraband or
Return to Dust.
Yeah.
Right. And like, yeah, getting to destroy 2 things with Return to Dust is pretty cool.
It's really good.
It is, but like honestly, sometimes I would rather just destroy one thing and draw a card.
Absolutely.
Or exile a thing and draw a card. Like,
yeah.
And it's the same person. Like and the thing is, I'm definitely running them in tandem.
Well, and also, I mean, here's the thing. I just want to be like, True Love's Kiss your thing. I just want to say that as I kill somebody's thing.
Well, I'm going to get like a red paint pen and draw like a heart on this card.
Or just be like,
right.
point at something. I don't know. The flavor is on point, and I think it's a really good card.
It is.
All right, so
you have 2 more cards left?
No, I think I just have the one. So do you want to do your number 1 since I've been doing a bunch in a row? Here we go.
Do one. Also, I've noticed something. How many commons and uncommons are on your list, Ryan?
A couple.
Because like I remember one time we were doing one of these things, and I was like, "Hey man, we should make sure we get some commons and uncommons so that we like." Get
the commons and uncommons in the set look really good too.
There are I mean 2 of mine were the Merchant of the Veil and then the land.
Yeah, the witch's
something or another.
Cabin? Witch's hut.
Is that like a
trope? Witch's cottage. Yeah, it's a trope.
It's the one. It's like the witch's house that's on the chicken foot.
Or like Hansel and Gretel, right? Or like like if you're playing Minecraft and you like go into the swampy areas and there's like the witches, like it's a trope.
I didn't know about that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And we played Minecraft.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But you know what I'm talking about with the witch's hut on the chicken foot, right?
No.
Okay. It's like maybe it's like Russian or something, but it was a thing in Hellboy, like the comic book Hellboy.
Okay.
And I don't know. So my number 1 card is what do you think it is?
I don't want to say because I hope we don't overlap and that I hit the under.
Aaliyah, Artful Provocateur.
All right, sweet. Yeah, definitely not on my list.
I didn't figure it would be. So Aaliyah, Artful Provocateur is 1 white, blue, green. Aren't you surprised I'm saying that word right?
Green? Because you meant to say black?
Did I say green?
Yes.
No. I mean, yeah. So it's 1 white, blue, black.
An Esper card at the top of the list. Okay.
Right. Legendary creature, fairy warlock.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet. It's a 2/3. Flying, death touch, lifelink. Love those combined.
All right. Yep. Absolutely.
Other creatures you control with flying get +1/+0.
Good stuff.
Pretty sweet. Whenever you cast an artifact or enchantment spell, create a 1/1 blue fairy creature token with flying.
Very good.
Yep.
So disclaimer.
Is this one of the ones that's
our previous disclaimer was wrong?
Is this? Oh man. Is this the one that's in that deck?
Yes, it's from the Brawl decks. All right. So I mean, this card's sweet, and it would have made my list if we were choosing this. So I'm glad that it made your list, and I'm glad that we landed on 3. So I definitely win the over under.
I mean, I guess I have to buy one of those decks now.
This card is sweet, and it was my favorite of the precons to play with. Yeah. So actually, for folks out there, if you didn't know, there was Brawl on Arena. And you could play with these precons that I guess are going to be the Brawl decks that are being released as a product later this year. And this was definitely my favorite of them to play with.
Same.
And actually, I think this is a decent actual commander playable card. Probably a really good actual commander for your deck.
Yeah, I think so too. Because I mean, first off, because it's I want to build a fairy like tribal deck. I've built I've built lists for a couple but it's always like Una, right? So it's always Dimir. But when I get that white in there, stuff goes off the chain.
Well, there's lots of cards that are white that like help out flyers too. So you can really kind of go like fairy and flyer tribal or something.
Right. And I mean, there's gonna be so many birds. I mean, fairies. I mean,
are fairies birds? Yes.
Absolutely. I mean, they fly, don't they?
Correct. They're the hummingbirds of birds.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
But like, I don't know. And as I was reading this, I was like, oh, geez, this was that card in that deck. But also,
I think it's interesting that Warlock is a card type there.
I think so, too. I thought that was kind of strange.
I don't know if there's been another Magic card that's a Warlock.
I mean, we can definitely check. But like, I don't know. I think a Fairy Commander would be good. You know, obviously Bitter Blossom, you know.
Oh, for sure. And all like the Vendilion clicks and Oh, for sure.
And you know, I have all that stuff sitting in a box waiting for
this day.
Yeah, basically. I mean, granted, I get to add white to it now, so there's going to be some happenings.
Let's see. Blind Obedience, Mortify, True Love's Kiss. Yeah, it goes on and on. Yeah.
Swords to Plowshares. No, what was the one thing? Ghostly Prison.
Yeah, to go along with your propaganda and your Koskun Falls. Yeah.
Yep. So what's your number one?
All right. So we did not. We had exactly 3 overlaps. Yep. Okay, got there. All right. So my number 1 is Emry, Lurker of the Loch. This is 2 and a blue for a 1/2 legendary creature Merfolk Wizard. The spell costs 1 less to cast for each artifact you control. When Emry, Lurker of the Loch enters the battlefield, put the top 4 cards of your library into your graveyard. Tap. Choose target artifact card in your graveyard. You may cast that card this turn. I think this card is sweet. Again, huge flavor win, Lady in the Lake style. This Merfolk's got a sword. I know this looks amazing. It costs 1 less to cast. They didn't even have to put that on there. Like a 3, just if this was a static 3 mana, it would have been a good card. Being able to cast it for 1 or having a ton of artifacts and being able to like get around commander attacks and just play it for a single blue mana is amazing. Obviously, you're going to want to have some way to give it haste, but there's tons of artifacts that let you do that. And it self-mills, right? So it's going to put some of that artifacts in your graveyard to do, and it's going to let you recur. Like any of your like baubles and stuff, or you should be able to sacrifice, draw cards. I just think I think this could be like a tier 1 competitive deck probably.
Mono blue Tron.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't know, like just mono blue artifacts. Like this is a great commander for it. I think this card's sweet. I think there's a lot of stuff you can do to it. Hopefully it's not too broken. Like I don't want it to be like too good.
Urza.
Like Urza broken. Yeah. Because I love playing blue artifact decks. I love it. And this card, like I think it can go in the 99 of pretty much any artifact deck and it would be sweet. And yeah, I mean you have to cast the card so it's like slightly fair. Like you're not just like putting it into play, but
it's mostly fair.
Yeah, if you've got like lots of like 0 mana artifacts, like I said, those baubles earlier, or like you know Wayfarer's Bauble or Expedition Map, like there's all kinds of awesome stuff you can do with this. I think this card's huge, and I really want to build it.
I think so too. Like that card almost made my list, and then I was like, I was trying to be cool, and I was like, no, Brian's gonna pick that, so I don't want to like overlap him.
Yeah, all right.
Because I know how you feel about those kinds of mermaids and whatnot.
Well, you know, okay. Oddly enough, like there was a mono black card that I thought was gonna make your list that I didn't pick.
Which one?
The black one. Like the legend that like whenever a black creature comes into play under your control, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain a life, and then you can tap and sacrifice a black creature and draw a card.
Any number of like the things or whatever. It had like 3 modes that it could do.
No, I don't remember the name of it, but anyway, folks at home, you'll know.
Yeah,
but
I'll probably put a picture up of it.
Yeah, probably
if I can figure out what it is.
I think the name starts with A.
Well, that narrows it down.
Yeah, that's the problem with new cards. It's like really hard to like get all the names first. It's like first it's like what they do, and then it's like the picture with what they do, and then finally like the name kind of comes in there at the end for me. That's the way I do it. So I don't know. But you know, that pretty much wraps up our main topic.
I think so. Yeah.
I just want to say how hyped I am for Throne of Eldraine.
Yeah,
like, this set looks amazing. I am like, again, that trailer that we talked about at the beginning of the show was so good. I like showed it to my wife. She loved it. I really cannot wait to like get my hands on the set.
Yeah, like I'm the same way. And I'll be honest, like at first I was kind of skeptical of the flavor. I was like, I don't know. But like the trailer and then seeing the cards and how they put it all together, like, and it's definitely a top-down design, but I think it is. I would say it's top-down, right?
Yeah, I think so. Like we didn't even mention like there's like a Robin Hood card in here, Robber of the Rich, that was like so awesome flavor-wise.
Yeah.
Like, every card that I looked at during previous seasons, like it wasn't just like, oh man, that's a cool Magic card. It's like, oh, the flavor of that card is amazing and it's good.
Yeah.
And like that is so rare, and there's so many of them in the set. I really like, I'm really excited.
We should make a spreadsheet that lists every card and like what it goes with.
Oh, like the story, like this one's Hansel and Gretel.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? You could probably find most of them.
Yeah. I feel like it's gonna be on Reddit, but yeah. No, like Wizards has really won me over with how, because at first when I heard like what I was like, but then just all the flavor, it's so good. So good. So I guess you know what time it is now, right?
Oh, it's time for a segment that we like to call
Zack gets it together.
So, this week is not so much about me getting it together exactly, but I, we were at Mothership earlier, talking to Lauren, the proprietor of said shop, and I was asking, I was gonna buy one of the dual deck things where it's like the gingerbread girl versus like Garuk, and but I was like, yeah, I'm gonna teach them. And she's like, oh, we have these like free decks, like they're like little decks that have cards in them. I can't open this box. I don't want to tear it up, but they're little monocolored 30 card decks ready to go. You just play them against each other, and they got lands, commons, uncommons, rares, no mythics.
Yeah, a single rare, but
yeah,
like they're really not there for value. They're given away for free.
Yeah,
right?
for sure. Like you can get these for free, and like if you want to, and the thing is, like a friend of mine at work wants to learn how to play Magic, and we've definitely tried to teach people via Commander before, and it's not always worked the greatest. And this is someone who doesn't have a background in gaming per se, so I was like, well, we'll start with this. I'm gonna start with these, very basic stuff. Ryan was on the Commander Ad Populum podcast talking about teaching new players a little bit.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we should give a huge shout out to that. That's Ryan from
CCO.
Yeah, Commander Cookout.
Yep.
And that was a blast to do.
Yeah, it was pretty good. And that was like, listening to him, I was like, well, yeah, like Monaco. Yeah, I was like, yeah, I should do that. And then I was like, well, I don't want to build those. So, but anyway,
Turns out they're built for you.
Yeah, turns out
free.
Yeah, and they're free, which I do love free stuff. And I was willing to pay, but still, like, if you're wanting to teach people, and I think that for me, teaching someone is also going to kind of cement my knowledge on, like, prove to myself that, like, I know what I know, right, and that it's correct, because I'm definitely gonna, like, look up the rules, make sure I'm right, things like that, but
I mean, you can like intuitively know something, but until you actually have to like teach another human being that thing, like you're almost like testing yourself in a way, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like it's like the ultimate test, because it's like untap, up, keep, draw, like you say that term, but it's like, well, do you know what that means? Do you know what happens in those phases? Like, I mean, obviously I'm not gonna start with that, but well, maybe I don't know, but I will. So this experiment is going to be teaching somebody with these decks, and then at a later date, some other later date, maybe I will discuss how that went. So that is Zach Gets It Together for this week. So yeah.
Special thanks to our super patrons. You can check us out at patreon.com/commandersocial and join at the Your Name and Lights tier if you want to be here as well. All right, everybody, thank you so much for watching this video. Please remember to like and subscribe below and hit the bell for notifications. We really appreciate you making it all the way to the end of this video, and we really couldn't do it without you. So thank you for watching week in and week out, and thank you for all of your support on patreon.com/commandersocial. And so
if you want to get at us on Twitter, we're at Commander Social. I'm at Z4CK38.
And I'm at Green Geek.
And until next week, this is Zach and Ryan saying,
keep it social.